No, stop it. Go. Oh, there we go. Oh, it's so amazing. I forgot the video. Oh. I love the video so much. I forgot it. I'm gonna listen to this album today, I think. Why? Thanks for joining. Super productive, like super creative phase I'm in. The costumes I'm in, they're exceptional. I gotta get rid of these pants. They're way too big on me. Like I can't like I love them. So it's kind of hard. I'm not gonna go through the trouble of getting them taken in or anything like that. Ah, he's the most beautiful woman ever. Or I mean, man, or whatever he is. He's just, that. I think if Boy George came up today, he would have gone by they. What does Boy George go by now? Let's see. Is it they, or does he just go by he? Like, I'm very curious. It's like survival. Uh, So I'm not going to speak for all of Gen X and before, um, but I'm gonna tell you what I think most of Gen X probably. I don't know, like it's not even that we feel anyway about that. Like I think we're really, really grateful and happy that there are like that there are pronouns and then that people can, finally be in a place where they get to be who they want to be, you know what I mean, and referred to in the way that they see fit. And I think that's really important, and I think that Gen X, is grateful for that, and for the upcoming generations, like we think that's a really great thing, right? Obviously, but it's not really so much a but, right? It's not a but. It just that's what it is. um but Gen X and previous, especially people who were, I think, in the LGBTQ community, especially before us, right? Like I think, I think they are so grateful, you know. But like, I'm just looking now, and I guess he still uses he and him, right? If you're just joining, I'm talking about Boy George, and if he ever changed his pronouns, and because I like said he's the most beautiful woman ever, and he really, I mean, he's woman or man, he's so beautiful, especially the way his makeup and style were then. I mean, it was so ahead of its time. And as a little girl, like again, that was one of my fashion influences. That was like who I looked up to, like Cindy Lauper, like Boy George, Madonna, like, like man, we were lucky, right? How cool is that? Like, you don't get fashion like that anymore. Anyway, so I was just kind of like wondering, and I talked through the whole video. I was wondering, oh, it's still going. Okay. I was wondering what Boy George went by now, what his pronouns were. If he changed them, and I think a lot of like old school, like I see it sometimes on Twitter. I don't or X or whatever. I don't really ever. I personally like avoid saying the gays or like the old gays. Like um, but like I've known a lot of those like first generation. I think that's what they should call them. They should call them like some kind of cool tech, like version one, like you know, beta boys. Beta boys. Oh, we should call them beta boys. Okay, so that the first generation of gays that were out, we're gonna call them beta boys. I love it. If you disagree, like you don't have to, obviously. I'm not of that community specifically to um coin such a phrase, but I mean, come on, that's perfect. So, for the purpose of this dissertation, beta boys, right? I feel like the beta boys, like, they are, well, I think one, they're grateful that they just fucking survived the shit that they lived through. You know what I mean? Like, they saw some fucking shit, right? Like, and I think they feel probably like they're in a little bit of like, one, like on one side, I should stop speaking for this whole like, group of people because that's never good to do, right? But I'm I mean I guess this is my perspective too on it, like I'm so grateful and like happy that we're here. But then on the other hand, I'm like, wait, how are we still here? You know what I mean? Anyway, here's an ad. It's not an ad. I'm not getting paid for this. I just we my daughter and I, when we go to Philly, there's like this great like corner Keel store. If you're ever in Philly, you should totally go. Um, awesome salespeople. They will sell you everything and you will want to buy everything. And then you'll never want to use anything else. That is like the most amazing. Oh my God. It's milk and honey and shea butter, soy milk. So if you have a soy allergy, probably avoid it. But anyway, so nice. Anything with honey. So part of like this creative craziness that I'm in right now is um well, it is, hold on one second. I think I might have had something that I don't necessarily want the whole world to see. Probably should be not on my desk. I'll leave it as a mystery. What do you think it was? Comment below. All right. So, for those of you who don't know me as a visual artist, it's what I did for like the last 20 years. you know, I spent most of my life as a visual artist, whether it was in a professional component or just pure, creative component. We have watercolor paper, which I take into not liking to cut. Instead of making it to size, I just like to like bend the edge and then just like you get that nice like rigid like I just like a torn edge on watercolor paper. It's just a nice paper. Oh, there's so many stories I want to tell today. I don't know how much work I'm gonna get done as far as playing. Um I spent a summer in, oh gosh, I think it was the Oneonta area, with a paper maker by the name of June. I forget her last name. You could find it pretty easy. And I'm not sure necessarily she wants me to share. So, but I think most artists, once you are a public artist, that's like you are a public figure once you become a public artist. It doesn't mean that necessarily your privacy should be invaded or that you lose other types of rights and pieces, right? Like, but I think like it's one of those things too. Like it, like on my social accounts, like I generally avoid adding or following any of my, family or friends, like, especially if there's like personal information in their names that like would be identifying to them. And so I think, but, when you become like a public artist, like, and you're showing your work under a name and performing under that name, at this point, like, I almost feel like, that's kind of something that I think I'm crossing the line with, like in one of the directions that I've been creatively kind of thinking about going has been like in the like, you know, uh more of a kind of taking my channel like as I was describing it to some friends the other day as like taking my channel somewhere like Mr. Rogers meets Jules Holland, right? Like, oh, what do you teach? What grades? I don't study music. I mean, I study music every day. Like, I spend all day studying music. I don't go to school for it yet though, but I might go to school for it just to teach it because I spend so much time doing it, and I think it's kind of like in the immediate future, I'm going back to teach English as a second language as a form of protest, and also just because like there's a great need for it. But primarily right now, it's as a form of protest to be like, you know, um, anyway. But I'm looking into getting the courses I need to teach music because I think there's a real shortage of opportunities in the world for it. And so anyway, I when I was a visual artist, I was an assistant for this paper maker who would do these workshops, which were oh so awesome. She had this awesome house in the middle of like the most beautiful, perfect, like fertile, like part of upstate New York, and like oh, the land was so red and rich and clay like. It was like literally like everything you ever read in a spa, right? Like all the things that you see and hear about in spas. The primary source was like her property, right? The beautiful mud that like made your skin like beautiful, like even just by getting your feet like muddy on a rainy day, like the fresh like tomatoes and cucumbers from her garden, like the cat's tails from the pond that we would cut down and then mash with this giant machine that somebody custom made for her. And it was this awesome like provincial like primitive machine of like basically just like a servo like motor that like just goes like that, and then a big metal like steel thing that goes like that, and at the bottom was a giant stone disc, and she would take like all the plants that you would soak and stuff, like the cattails for instance, not the fuzzy part, the leaves, and you would soak them with like some like leaves. You would add like a little substance to it to help break it down, and you would smash it with this giant machine until it became a pulp, and then you mix that with water, and that's how you made paper. It was like a real cool experience. But it gave me the reason I bring it up is because it gave me a love of paper, and also my friend Jiffy. You guys hear me talking about? Um, that summer I was also living in I was caring for a friend's property, and sometimes I lived in the main house when he was like traveling and stuff like that. I took care of the house, and um he was traveling with a puppet theater, which is really cool. What's really weird is a friend of mine, her mom read tea leaves, and she that summer before I moved onto his property, she had read my tea leaves, and she was like, I see, I see. Oh, it's like a carnival, and oh, it's like a circus. There's puppets and marionettes, and I was like, what? Dear, your mom's crazy. She's doing too much ayahuasca or something. What's up with her? I know, like, I know Woodstock is not too, like, didn't happen too far from here, and like, but no, she was a straight up gypsy witch. And she was right because, like literally weeks later, I was like living in the middle of the woods in the most beautiful, perfect utopia, caring for a friend's property, and they all worked, and all his friends all had been part of this puppet theater. So there were always like large puppets and music, and like it was cool, It was a really special time. But Jiff, who I was talking about, um, so when the fall came and it started getting cold, and I was like, all right, what's my next move? Because I just graduated and stuff, Um, I had stayed at his apartment a couple of times, which was like downtown, and we I'd bring home the extra pulp from the studio, and we would make paper out of like the dirty old pulp in his bathtub. It was oh, it was a really special time. And then we'd play like Sims and Paperboy on like the old school like Nintendo system. have a coffee. So yeah, I'm in this crazy creative phase right now. I was saying my pants, I'm coming full circle. My pants are way too big now, but they're really cozy and I went through hell with them. So I think I'm gonna make like a bolster out of them, right? Either for yoga or just the couch or some, bed or whatever. Just a cozy long pillow, two of them, perhaps four. All right, let's see. So I'm gonna try to cover. I mean, I think it's worth going back and doing the one I did last night. What is it? Do you really want to hurt me? But I'm gonna do Karma Chameleon first. Um, but before I do that, I'm gonna listen and I'm gonna get my paper set up. Um, I think in the printer. I have a new printer. I have to tell. I'm sorry, I'm talking so much. Let's see. Nice to meet you. What grade do you teach? Or like what do you teach just like privately or do you teach at a school like classes? What's your favorite instrument? So I think I don't think my printer is wide enough. I'm gonna check. But one of the things I'm gonna like give um a little love to Canon. Uh oh, you know what? I think I printed it on the wrong side the other day because there's like a tooth with watercolor. And I think I printed it on the wrong side. I have to make sure I don't. Um, this is my PSA for today. Okay. Um, how many of you people out there have ever had the issue with a printer where you go to print something and your printer's all fucked? Excuse my language, but there's not a better word for it. Anybody? 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 Me. I have a lot with every printer, except what printers I did not have that issue with. Here are the printers I never had that issue with. So as I was saying, in my past life, and again, I'm going back to it right now, I spent a lot of time as a visual artist. And I went to graduate school for like photography and video and multimedia shit, right? That's what it says in my resume. It doesn't. But so um in doing that, the place I went to school had these massive printers, wide format printers. And you kind of like learned like a lot of times there was only like one or two people working at the like massive like lab, imaging lab, at night. And like you often like you didn't get to like touch the printer, right? But like often you were like troubleshooting the software and stuff and trying to figure out, how to fix the issue before it got to the printer, right? Because most of the time when you're dealing with a wide format professional printer, right? You don't have the issues that you have with the consumer shitty commercial ones. So it's real frustrating, right? But I will say this Canon, I like Canon is one of those brands that I always, when it comes to printers, and I'm not getting paid for it, but I will take the opportunity. Don't get me wrong. Canon, if you're out there, the problem is nobody wants to pay me, I'm sure, because like I do 8,000 other things. I'm not like a specific, like nobody's looking at me for a brand, And that's okay. That's not why I'm here, I am my own goddamn brand. Hashtag my own brand. Um, but that was on the fly. I just came up with that shit. Anyway. Um, Canon is really like the best printer in terms of like user friendliness and just like functionality, right? What happened here? Now I want to kind of like go with it, but anyway, this Canon though, what I love about it, like in the past, like I've had printers where you had to be real specific in specifying, right? Your what do you call it? Beep beep beep. Your page sizes and settings, right? This one, I throw it on the back of the machine in the tray, and I if it's like thinking it's going to be letter size and it's not, then it just corrects it. It's just like, oh, I sense it's a different size. Would you like me to print with that? And I'm like, oh my God, yes. Thank you so much for being in the 21st century. I wish humans would also be there. You know what I mean? All right. So my first question is like, how do I want to cut this, right? I want to get it in there, right? Oh, this is the other thing I wanted to talk about. This is just like going to be the longest video, but it's important if you're like watching because I'm going to be doing a lot of like visual stuff, I think, in the future. Part of my business and our company that we're starting, we want to start this tea business, right? But like the food and beverage industry is a rough business to just dive into, especially to start a business, right? So we love watercoloring. My daughter and I are very, very creative, and we are going to be. Well, I guess I could use a piece. Wait, I'll use this. I don't know how well it's going to show up on this because I don't know if this is watercolor paper. Um, we are going to be. So if you've looked at any of my other, like my Instagram or my X or anything like that, you'll see I have some paintings and pictures of flowers like from recently. My daughter and I got this like watercolor kit. Actually, I think I had it. I had it here somewhere because I was gonna reference it for something. It's over there somewhere. Anyway, and we really just loved it, and the paintings came out so beautiful. So we are going to be starting a little business selling like just beautiful watercolors on the cheap, like cheap paintings, like beautiful art under $25 in like antique frames because there's a plethora of antiques in the area that you just go and get like a billion antique frames. So, but to fund and upstart our tea business, we're going to use tea in our watercolors to give it like a nice cool stain, and we're gonna paint. So but why I started speaking about all my other art is because what's really cool, and I just kind of made the connection today when I was talking to a friend of mine who I went to grad school with, um, and uh, when you look at the flowers and stuff at first, it just looks like a painting, right? And that's what's cool about it, right? A lot of my work is like that. But what's really cool about it is the medium is the message, man. Marshall McLuhan, right? And it's true in this situation. So they're prints. They're not paintings. They start as prints. So I take a photograph, I bring it into AI. I say, make a fine line drawing of this, right? And then I save the image. I print it onto the watercolor paper. And then I have a fine line drawing, just like the kit that Luna and I were using, right? But it's off of my images, right? And then I paint it. And we might make kits and stuff like that to sell too. But anyway, it's just, it's like something we wanted to do. And when we first came up here, she expressed interest about like possibly opening a business in this little like commercial area. And I was like, you know what? Let's do it. You want to do that? Let's do it. So we're doing it. That's our summer project, I think. But I'm prepping for it now. I'm starting to build supply and test things and see how it goes, and it's been really lovely. Oh, so the reason I bring up the printmaking process of it, right? One, it's because there's only going to be like series and limited editions, not for the purpose of limitedness, but also yeah for the purpose of limitedness because there's specialness to it, right? Um, but then again, there isn't because it's fleeting, like everything, right? See what I mean by doing the edges like that? I almost want to like display it like that and have them hang by the torn edges, You need to make cards. Oh, we should make cards actually. That's not a bad idea. See, I'm brilliant. I'm also full of myself. Apparently. I'm not. Actually, I'm not because I'm like I would You know, I think a lot of musicians feel this way, and I feel this way sometimes as a musician too. Though I'm not really in this active, like vibrant, creative period musically right now. I'm in a more of a learning phase musically, and listening. But you know, it's cool. I forgot what I was saying about the connecting it to the music. Um, it'll come back to me later. Okay, so I need to turn that on. And I'm gonna have to touch the phone for a minute so that I can print these. Maybe I was talking about like the specialness of like a unique performance or something, and that's why I was linking it. I don't remember now. I'm sure it was something interesting. I love the torn edge of paper. When I tell you the pulp that we used to make paper from the studio was so disgusting, um, that like and the reason it was disgusting was because it was the slurry of like pulp that would like, get on the floor after we would make the paper at the end of the day, and I would be like, oh, we can't waste all that pulp and bring it home in buckets, and be like, I wrote some pulp home. It was disgusting. But I mean, it had like mud and sticks and stuff. It wasn't like nasty garbage. It was just like nature dirt, and studio dirt, which is cool actually. It's like had a lot of good inclusions. All right, here we go. Let's do this. I'm gonna beep boop boop on my phone for a second. So uh I'm gonna turn the camera off. Don't if I can find it. Okay, I can't find it. Hold on. Yo, what's up? Hold on one second. Really alarming was the ease at which the phone store guy, and he was great. I'm not no judgment. Like he was a very nice person. But the ease at which like he would hold up the phone and be like and like unlock it with my face. It's like, oh, that's your poor girlfriend or what? That's too easy. Not that they'd have anything to hide or anything. Also, check it out. I made it my first office plant. Isn't she beautiful? Like this is not the type of plant you just have as a decoration on the side. This is a desk plant that you admire and you take breaks to look at and you touch. It's like they should should have called it Plantus pubis. I don't know why. That was such a mistake. They needed to use pubis in the title. Sorry, that's funny. This is not my first cup of coffee, by the way. Ah, shitty though. Ugh. My coffee's better. Hold on. Beep. Oop. Beep. Okay, back. All right, ready? I was doing this. I was running my fingers through the pubis planes. Oh no, it's knotted. Oh no. How did that happen? I'll help you. It was the best plant ever. I'm so happy I got it. All plants should be like that. I wonder if it likes it. Ew, something flew out of it. Like, or is this like upsetting it? It's like nothing in nature really unknots my things. Can you leave them alone? Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't know. It's probably shocking. Nothing shocking. Oh my god, I was not expecting that to happen today. Today's the day that I like ugh, make a plant sing what is it? James James Addiction, right? Or no. Papyrus. Both are great though. I haven't listened to them in a while. All right, let's see. Maha, nice, right? So it's the first one. See, it's cool, right? And so for this one, I think I'm gonna do one more print. I'm gonna do a series of maybe four, three prints, and then one as I forget what it's called, but there's when you do printmaking, there's like the first thing you do, which is like not the print, but it's like it's a test print, and usually you use a block. That's for when you're doing like block, like you're testing the block to see how it works. And like the first one that comes out right is like a special one. It's like your master, like not that you're using it to make additional copies, but like it's like in terms of like, art, like that's usually the one that's not sold, like it's a lot of times it's not even like, you know, a complete print, or there's a mistake on it or stuff, like, oh, these are coming out so lovely. Just the like photos are beautiful. Like if that's all AI did, like I'm having mixed feelings about it. Like, is this okay? Here's a great question. Ready for it, guys? Nobody's here, so this is the perfect audience. Is the use of generative AI, which I'm assuming that's what this is, right? Is the use of generative AI to make art, right? That's available and affordable to the masses, right? A good use of generative AI. I think it might be. I think it might be. I could write a thesis on why, but to summarize my thinking here, I think the use of generative AI to make art more available for the masses, as long as it's not AI art, though, it has to still be human art. You know what I mean? But to ease that creation, or accessibility, I guess, I think it is worth the use of generative AI and the environmental factors that come along with that. Um, because I think that making art more available um, is a necessity uh, to everybody for everybody's environment. You know. Um, okay, here we go. Let's print it one more time. Afternoon, I'm just beginning. Da, 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 da.